Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games.
Jason, get it in there.
Let's go. Oh, let's go. Got him. Got, son. Still there. Got him.
Excited for that. Ooh, just got in front of you. So I think that.
Got him.
Let's just get that.
He's upset. He's uninstalling the game.
Oh, watch it.
You should have seen I jumped right into it.
Oh boy.
Oh, they're
Okay,
here. They're here. Hiya. How do I shoot them? I have a gun, don't I?
You don't want to. I would never probably shoot right now in their seat because your job is to heal us.
Okay. I like to jump right into the gameplay and start asking questions because there's plenty of interviews out there that are just two faces side by side talking about something. But let's not do that. Let's ask you hard questions while you're trying to play a video game on live stream.
I don't think I can talk and clean. It's very complicated.
What is your earliest memory of playing video games?
I do remember playing Pong on, it's probably like the Intellivision.
What was your go-to game then, girl?
A lot of people probably don't know what this is, but it's Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
We had our event last year. I don't even think we were really using the term metaverse. We were just saying we're going to be in Decentraland. Or maybe we did use the term metaverse, but like it wasn't popular. Just like blockchain and crypto didn't really become popular, mainstream popular, until NBA Top Shot created those moments and then NFT became popular.
Man, I'm glad you're asking these questions.
One of my go-to games was probably NBA Street Volume 2.
Oh man, you just gotta pick like a seedless grape.
We are the best video game players in this video
on stream.
On this specific stream. Let me ask this: Why coach? Why coach esports?
I always was an avid gamer. You know, I fell in love with gaming. Life happened.
Yeah.
Got out of gaming for a while, then went back in because of some of my students. You know, I just saw all the career and college pathways, man. And I was like, I don't think nobody else is looking at it the way I'm looking at this thing.
Helps us quite a bit.
I fell off. I fell. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's dumb.
Okay.
That's first of all, that's dumb that they have a place to. My kill cam is me. Dadgummit. Yeah, that happens in pro Overwatch. Your kill cam is yourself. Oh, I fell off the freaking thing again.
There we go.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. Okay. Oh no, did you die? Oh my god. Oh gosh.
Get your school into the high school esports league community. It's complete.
I think those conversations are important to normalize that it's not okay, because as long as you keep saying like this is not okay, then tell me what is okay. And then having those strong females within the gaming space is also definitely a move in the right direction.
I feel like my games were a little easier earlier when I had my lobbies. Pretty sure.
Well, those were bot lobbies. So.
Those were bot lobbies.
They didn't think they could be here. They thought it was just a boys' game, or they weren't comfortable. They didn't want to compete. That really highlighted the fact that we've got to make it more inclusive for girls. We have to make welcoming, open environments. We have to give them champions and examples of mentors that they can see and that they can be. And despite whatever culture or society says, they absolutely are a part of this world, and they can absolutely make a difference in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, art.
So this was a Kickstarter project, correct?
Yeah, so I scraped money together on my own when we went up to Kickstarter.
At what point would we say they move from club to designated under the school's banner?
Obviously, it's going to come from support staff. Having a director of a program and then having per game coaches, I think, is a great way to help with that.
The parent interaction is a big part of it, especially for somebody who's in this industry and, fought to try and be here. What I see is, what I strive for is to show parents that gaming is a legitimate way to create a career for yourself, right? And these tournaments do that.
Is when it comes to character creators, the disabled community is not really represented in the game itself. That was something that we wanted to attack on our way in. So one of the first things we ever built was this character creator. We call them enhancements. So the wheelchairs, you've got different prosthetic,
different eye colors as well.
Heterochromia, different color eyes is heterochromia, which is like super common.
Oh, on this one, you shoot his legs out and then he falls over. And okay, he disappeared for some reason. Okay.
It's one of my favorite things about Apex is I can do absolutely nothing in this period right here.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at this! I'm flying. This reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, which have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. My 9-year-old big fan.
So I won victory. Dad dab. Yes. I'm over here hitting R like I'm reloading my gun accidentally for some reason. I have no idea. Or C to crouch. And
I said, so, hey, have you heard about esports and how it's benefiting schools and how it's doing all this with students? And they said, I've heard some of it. Well, did you know that it's happening right now and it's something that you guys can jump on board with?
So I was a sergeant. I was an E5. Seeing the work that we were doing with the kids and seeing like, hey, this is something that we can really build and make a positive influence on the kids that we're working with.
Particularly, Bubba, here's my big thing, particularly people who look like me.
Yeah.
In the educational technology space and in the esports space, because I said that it's being underserved. I need for directors, I need for teachers, I need for students, I need for anybody to, when I'm talking to them, they say, oh, whoa. And they may not say it, but I know sometimes they're thinking it, well, there's this African American, there's this black man in this space talking esports, talking educational technology. We may have not seen that before, and that's important.
Like as you said earlier, you mentioned like a parent asking about esports challenges for their kid. I think that's like wonderful. Like how many parents back in the day actually had interest in gaming when it's not like, academically viable.
And so I reached out to Mike and Christy. Their contact information was on there. I found them through High School Esports League, which was our league, coincidentally. Christy answered my email and she was like, you've got some technical questions. I'm going to loop Mike in on this.
Of course.
It was just the best meeting I've ever had.
Hey, I know you're already going to be here for the tennis tournament. You got to come by, dude. Take 15 minutes out of the tennis tournament, come inside, get a breath of the air-conditioned air, and just come see what my kids are doing. And that's all it took. They just had to see it with their own eyes. Oh, these are the kids that are playing in esports. It was the kids who ate lunch by themselves, the kids with no friends, the kids, we were worried about them dropping out of school. But hey, you know what? They came to school on Friday because they wanted to play Super Smash Brothers in the library.
My name's Kyle Mullins. I'm the youth pastor and work with 6th through 12th graders. It's probably where we started spending the most time together is when we went to China and put on a soccer camp. And then got into streaming a couple months ago between my fumbling through the world and gaming all of my life, but now fumbling into streaming and stuff.
One thing that's really important to me is the kids learn to be positive influence, to not be toxic. I've seen kids get really mean and be bullies.
If the industry truly wants to actually serve these communities, and it's going to come from the publisher down, we're going to have to provide support behind titles that can be played on the platform that these communities can actually have access to. It comes from the publisher down, it's just the empathy comes from the businesses and the consumers down.
You know what? Let me in front of you. Let me be your shield, and that way you don't die as quick.
In addition, I think one of the more exciting things I got to do is I got to be one of the official co-streamers for the Overwatch League opening day this past season.
Well, my background's actually in acting. I went to school for musical theater back in the day. I don't think I can talk and clean. It's very complicated.
All good things sometimes must come to an end. I'm actually leaving the world of education.
What?
Yep, big reveal. 6 days. I'm actually in conversations right now about my next steps.
This was announced officially here in the public on the show. Were you a CIA agent? I just have to ask you.
I was not. I did work in the Bureau of Intelligence and Research.
Oh crap! Oh crap!
Oh no! Well, it looks like.
I should have stayed so close to the edge.
ESA is the voice and advocate for the video game industry in the United States.
And we're really lucky in that we get to stay really mission driven and stay focused on the impact that this is having on students and schools. We don't really need to get into the nitty gritty of the numbers, which is, I think the thing is like an educator you probably fear when you're leaving the classroom.
If you'd like to be on Invite Sent to be interviewed and play video games, please go to BubbaGatter.com and request to be on the show. And I'll let you know if the invite is sent.
Oh my god.
Trade.
Yeah. Come on in, big guy. Come on. You won't.
How do you heal and how do you live? What?
She threw a black hole at us like Thanos. You can't. That's not a button. I don't have that button.
I don't have that button either. right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Invite Sent. Thank you so much for being here. We have got a show for you today. Man, it's going to be amazing. We are going to play some Multiverses, a new game that came out in the past few months. I've been playing a little bit, and I like Harley Quinn because she can shoot a gun, and I can't get close without getting hit, so that helps me. We're gonna have some fun. But I have a guest today that you are just going to love, and I'm gonna read a few things real quick before I bring him in, because I went through a ton of his YouTube videos, and I found since 2007, 2000, I don't even know, 4 maybe. It's way back. A little bit of a list before we bring on our guest of a few people he's had some contact with and even interviewed. So here we go. I'm going to read it as fast as I can. Deion Sanders, Tony Hawk, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Hart, Jerry Rice, Denzel Washington, Ryan Reynolds, Mike Collier, John Cena, Hugh Jackman, Carmelo Anthony, Marlon Wayans, Brie Lawson, Tyler Perry, Kane from the WWE, Tyler Perry, John Leguizamo, Angela Bassett, Morgan Freeman, Mike Tyson, Caleb McLaughlin, you know, the kid from Stranger Things, Jadakiss, Stephen A. Smith, Keegan-Michael Key, Shaq, Tom Hiddleston, Bryan Cranston, Ben Schwartz, Craig Robinson from The Office, and other shows, John Hamm, Samuel L. Jackson, Selma Hayek, LL Cool J, Tiffany Haddish, let me see if I can do this right, Jaman Hansu, you know, the really cool dude from all sorts of movies. Cisco, Johnny Knoxville, Miles Teller, Idris Elba, Jim Carrey, and of course, one of my favorites, Tom Cruise. Let's bring in our very special guest today, HipHopGamer. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Yo, Bubba, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, no stranger to danger. #1 journalist. Quickly, I changed the game up. Let's go, baby. Yo, it's an honor to be here, son. I love the show. Invite Sent. This is fire right here. So thank you for having me, dog. Let's get it.
Man, I'm excited. I put us in a match. We'll get rolling. And you know, this is a show where we play video games and interview people. Oh, looks like we're playing 2v2. Oh, guess I didn't.
Oh,
set this
2v2.
up. Oh, no, let's go. That's fine. We'll do that.
Yeah, let's go. You on the same team? Let's go,
yeah,
son.
There we go.
All right, let's smoke these dudes. Let's get it. They don't want no smoke. So like this person's name is Champ of the Sun, but I'm the only one that got the belt in the industry. So we got to change that.
We're gonna
So let's go.
Tell them what's up, man. You have done a lot of shows. You have done a lot of things like this where you're playing video games and talking about video games and interviewing. So I'm really learning from you on the years and years you've done stuff. And while we're talking about history, I want to go back as we play to age 4 when you fell in love with your video games and your grandma, Hip Hop Granny, introduced you to Atari and you played Pac-Man. Did you ever use her Tomb Raider guide to ever play to play Tomb Raider? Did you ever use her guide that she made?
What's so funny is I never used her guide, and the reason why is because she ain't want nobody to touch her guide. You know what I'm saying? And if you like misplace something of my grandmother's, she's gonna be upset with you, and I ain't want no smoke with my grandma. Just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? So I never messed with her strategy guides.
Yeah.
But I was just blown away by the fact that she even made one, and that she even discovered some of the stuff that's in these games.
So
I was like, how did you even find this stuff? Like, it was crazy.
Like walkthrough stuff? Like walkthrough, like you see on...
No, it wasn't just walkthroughs. It was strategies on how to do things that was like mad difficult to do.
Okay. Now,
so
like,
that was crazy to me.
How old? What Tomb Raider was this? Was this like on?
No, the first one, bro. The first one. Yeah, the first one. And my grandmother, she played even Angel of Darkness, which was the worst one.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how she liked that one.
Man, I've already got knocked out twice. I'm
oh no.
There we go. I got one. Dude.
Hold up.
There we go. Oh no. There we go.
Let's go.
Nice. Here we go. We're tied
Let's
up.
go.
No, we're winning. Okay. Oh no.
And things will not go the
I
same
really,
way
I played a lot of Brawlhalla. I played with my kids and I played Smash, but I get lost all the time with who I am. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Okay, so we talked about Hip Hop Granny. What kind of legacy did she leave with you?
Oh man, well see, with my grandmother, like I'll tell everybody, my quote is character is your currency. And she instilled that into me and I didn't even realize it. And the reason why she instilled it is because she told me that when you find something that you love to do, like just in your life, and you are passionate about it, the same way that you're passionate about video games, you will be successful. So what happened is, oh damn, we lost.
Oh dang.
So the fact is, she gave me so much love and passion in life, and she said that if you apply the way you play your video games, if you apply this to your life, you will find joy and you will find your passion as you move on further in your life. And that's, at the time, it didn't hit me as strong because, you know, I'm a kid. But now it is clear, bro, because I minister through my video games. I love games so much, but because of my passion for games, it made me understand that much more about the importance of life and love and how to live and being humble. And I never thought video games will give me more clarity about life overall. But my grandmother was right, man. And now I'm living proof of it. So always thankful to my grandma. And I'm always honored that people in general, when they get a chance to be around me and experience me, they don't just see that, but they feel that. And that means everything to me, dog.
So take me then to age 14 when your brother named you, your stage name, Jackal Flares, right? Flares?
Yeah. Right? Jackal Flares, yeah.
So coming to that, think about music. How did gaming come back in your life to deal with the politics of the music industry?
I may never watch that spot again.
So what was very interesting, right? I'm gonna break it down to you like this. So I was very wild as a child. You see how like I'm mad hype and stuff like that? Like fun fact, but before they called me Jackal, they used to call me Taz.
Taz?
So the Tasmanian devil that you see right now, they used to call me that in school.
Okay.
Because I was very wild. And because of my upbringing, being from East New York, Brooklyn, I ain't gonna front, man. Like, you had to know how to fight because people will test you.
Right.
So my whole energy with Jackal is like a wild dog and a wild animal. So that's why that's how my brother, you know, gave me my name. So shout out to my brother, Ramadan, you know what I'm saying, for giving me that name back in the day. So in the music industry, I started to learn how dark the music industry is. So what happened is we did a talent show for my junior high school because I was in a rap group called HLC, which stood for Hard Living Criminals, right? That's what it was. We did a show, and MC Shan, the legendary MC Shan, loved us. He was like, yo, like, you guys are incredible. We need to sign y'all. So we was gonna sign the MC Shan because that deal seemed pretty good. But my brother and my cousin, you know, they wanted us as a group. I'm 14 at the time, so I'm a minor, so I can't sign by myself. So they wanted me and my brother and my cousin as a group, but they went to mess with some girls over at Jones Beach, and they missed the meeting.
Okay.
So they didn't want to sign anybody that wasn't serious about the craft. So, you know, that deal didn't happen. But then another deal came about. And with this deal, made me realize that the music industry and the business is not for me, at least not right now. Because they wanted so much. We didn't even have lawyers. It was lawyers that was given to us. They were so in a rush to get us to sign this contract. There was no real money involved. Like, yo, it was just bad. And it felt like we was being bullied. That we lost again. It felt like we was being bullied. It was one of those situations, bro, where it was like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, sign this, sign this, sign this. It felt very, very intrusive. Like, it was like surgical, like they was trying to get at us. I didn't like that feeling. Even at a young age, I didn't like that feeling. So I'm like, nah, I'm not signing that. And then lo and behold, this particular person, you know, stay nameless, but this particular person was just into the streets real heavy. And I started and I learned how they got deals and how they did deals. And I was like,
yeah,
I ain't trying to die for this. like forget that. So I didn't want to do that anymore in terms of the music side. But what I did learn was with the music, I'm 14 at the time. One thing that I did learn is you have to, all money ain't good money. I learned that very early in life. So I want to make a lot of money, but a lot of good money. I don't want to make any bad money because it costs too much and my soul ain't worth it.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, during that time when I was 14 and making music and stuff like that. That's what made me shy away from the music industry at an early age.
That's amazing. That is really amazing. What was your first song? I mean, what song did you love putting out first, or I got on tapes, or whatever it was where you got that song out? What was your first hit?
Yo, what's so dope? It's so nobody ever asked me that. Like, that's crazy. That's a great question. So there was this song that we had, right? It was called Feel It Burn. And there's a group that Puffy used to manage called Total.
Okay.
And they had a song called What About You? What About Me? What About Us? What We Gonna Do? That joint is crazy. So we took that instrumental, we took that beat, and we did a song called Feel It Burn. In the way the chorus went, it was like feel it burn. HLC spread like a germ, feel it burn. Every time you touch with the urn, feel it burn. We could get it on, but it's my turn, so feel it burn, feel it burn. And then my boy Arsonist, he had the hottest verse on that particular song. Like and nobody knew that I was actually going to rap, so it was a surprise. Now this rap to me now is corny, but it was my first joint. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I said something like, shake you then rattle, getting ready for battle, coming through with the saddle, Glock 9 in the cattle. Like, it was crazy for that time because I was 14. Like, you know what I mean? So people was like, oh, like, going crazy like that. But my cousin, Arsonist, he had the hottest verse. He was like, yo, he's like, feel it burn. Feel it burn. When will you learn? You messing with the arsonist, you bound to feel it burn. I ain't no herb. I said it off at the first words, and all you bust us. We don't trust you. We here to crush you. Like, and then he said, we stuck you for your shine. Now it's mine. Now my eye is on the prize that lay behind you and die. Here's a 9 through your spinal, move too quickly. I trigger finger, ippy slippy. Come on, come with me. Let's get this money. Yo, it was crazy. So, yo, dog, we was blowing up in the hood, son, East New York. And then, and that was one of our major songs. Mm-hmm. And that's something that like put us like out there. Like, it was crazy. So, that's a fun fact right there. Feel It Burn was the first song I did something to.
And what year was this? Was this like 90s?
Oh man. I was 14. So this was 94.
94?
When Biggie came out. Yep. This is like 94 when Biggie came out.
Did you pull inspiration? Where did you pull inspiration from with your music at that age? Was it Puff, Biggie? What was your inspiration for?
Oh, yeah. Music? So I always love hip hop, saying? Like KRS-One, Rakim, and everybody. But for me, when I heard Biggie, real talk, I'm gonna tell you right now, the moment Juicy came out, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. When that joint dropped, Bubba, I'm telling you, everything changed. I started to take hip hop more seriously when that dropped. At the same time with my brother and my cousins, saying like, let him rap, so like that. It was mainly my cousin that was like, let him rap. Everybody else was trying to play me, but yeah, man, like it was amazing, bro. Just it was a certain feel, like being on stage, my energy, and the thing is, I was never shy. So the energy that you see now and stuff like that, like literally just always been there. Because even as a kid, I was always hyped. I was always full of energy, and I didn't mind being in front of the crowd. I wasn't scared. You know what I'm saying? I always was like, yo, what up? You know what I mean? So that was me.
Well, this is a great segue because I look back at December 16th, 2007 for you, and you put out your first video on YouTube. And because of your faith and your ability to create and not complain, as I hear from you, just your positivity. Tell me more about how this this persona became what it is today, and how you use your faith and your energy and your excitement to really just do what you do.
Yeah, so from a standpoint of just hip hop gamer, I love hip hop and I love video games. Like those are like my first loves. Like gaming is my first love, then hip hop. But hip hop and video games, you know, that was my love right there. So industry wise, when I made my first video, the reason why I made my first video is because, you know, I would watch Adam Sessler a lot, you know, Kevin Pereira and all of them on G4, Kevin Rose, all the shows on G4. I used to watch all of that, right? And one year, it started to feel like fake. Like Adam Sessler, I watched him, I paid attention to him, you know what I'm saying? And it started to feel like the corporations was getting a hold of the voices of the talent, and it didn't feel real anymore, and it wasn't fun anymore to watch and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start making my own videos and stuff like that. So there was somebody by the name of DLB. He was making videos too, and he helped inspire me to start making videos as well. So I gotta give credit and props to him. And then what happened is, after excuse me, after I got all this inspiration, real talk, and I ain't really tell nobody this either. Before I even made my first video ever, I was like practicing in the on screen, because I was using the PlayStation Eye camera, you know, on the PlayStation 3. So what happened is, I'm in the camera and I'm like trying to talk in a way where I'm not being myself. Like I was almost at that point where I had the mentality where I'm gonna try to fit in to the industry so I can make it. Because growing up, you know, I was always told that who I am and the way I do things is not enough. You know, especially as a black person, when you're trying to get a job or whatever, you gotta sometimes lie on your resume to try to get the job. Sometimes you gotta use a different name, because if your name is we got that victory. So if your name is too much of a black name, certain people will overlook the name and you won't even get a shot at the job. Like there's a lot of real stuff like we had to deal with. So that was like messing with my mind a little bit when it came to how should I approach this industry, because when it comes to representation, you don't see you don't see me up there. You don't see none of that.
Too many.
So in my mind, I was so I was like, it's like completely dominated by white men. Like in terms of how you got your news in gaming at the highest level on the biggest platforms. So I'm like, this, like, you know, how I'm gonna do this. So my first video that I never ever put out, I just recorded for myself. I was like, hi, you know, my name is Gerard, and you know, I love games. I love hip hop and games, and trying to fit in. And I was like, yo, bro, this ain't gonna work. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. The only way I gotta do this, I gotta be me. I gotta stand on it. And if I want to be the best, it's got to be on my terms. So I said, F that, forget that. And back in the day, I used to curse. I don't curse anymore. That's why you hear me say F that. Back in the day, I used to actually curse. I don't curse anymore. So, but that's what I said back then. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is, I made my first video, and it was with my boy Julio, because HipHopGamer was originally HipHopGamers, plural. Okay. It was me and him. And we was talking about what we love to talk about, because the people that I looked at, they didn't come off as real to me anymore. So, you know, no disrespect to Adam Sessler. That's my guy. I'm just telling the truth. So we did the video, and like people was feeling it. And so we came out every Sunday with a new show. But what happened is, the very next Sunday, my homeboy, he had some girl issues. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, I'm not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? This is like, I'm trying to make it. Like I love what I do, and I'm gonna talk about games, and I gotta be consistent. So HipHopGamers became HipHopGamer. And that's what stuck, and that's what we at today. So so now that we're at that point with me being hip hop gamer, and now I figured out how I want to make this happen. I just was consistent, constantly making videos. So now that I'm making videos, I got discovered by Torrance Davis, who had a website called thebigbag.com, and he loved my stuff, so he allowed me to put my stuff on his website. And this led me to doing my first ever video game reviews and going to press events and stuff like that. And that also led me to my first time going to E3 back in 2008. And what I didn't know about E3 that first year I went was that was the first time it was scaled back. It wasn't as populated because it was becoming more businessy and corporate. And it was still press, but it wasn't that much press. Like it was different. So that's another reason why I was able to meet so many people, because it wasn't as crowded. So I had the opportunity to meet certain people to help get my career off the ground. So that's how I got to E3, and that's when I discovered that even though I'm at E3 and I'm in the game industry, I'm still met with the same issues that I dealt with when I was back in the hood. So that's when I was like, I'm not gonna complain, I'm gonna create. And I kept creating, and now I became the best, period.
Well, did you see you were doing research at that time, and you were looking at different things. You're looking at patents. You were studying Jerry Lawson. Play again. And how were you building allies in the back end because the industry being whitewashed? I mean, how did you build allies and build relationships in the back end to see more of what you've been really the leading front for the black gamers in the industry, of having video game characters outside of Madden and outside of NBA 2K?
So, real talk, bro, here's how it really like happened, B. When I went to E3 the first time, right? And I got that rejection from IGN when I went to go say hi, and the way that energy was off. Yeah. And then the way that gentleman told me that look at me and look around you.
Yeah, right.
You don't belong here. When that hit me and I said, I'm not gonna complain, I'm gonna create, it made me look at the people that control the industry. It made me want to find out who's in charge of this. Like what's going on here? So what I started doing was researching all the executives, all the high level people. I started researching investment firms. I started looking at the banks. I started looking at people that invest in game. I was looking at everything, bro, to see why is this the way it is. So one thing that changed was the interviews I was doing. So there was interviews that I was doing with a lot of developers, and I was asking questions that they never got asked. And I had a style that they never seen before. And it was just raw, it was fun. It didn't feel staged, or it didn't feel robotic. Sure. It was free. Like, it felt like, wow, like I'm talking to somebody that genuinely love what we do here, and we need more of it. So what happened is, once developers started loving what I did and how I represented their game, it became more of a business opportunity to have me involved with a lot of projects that these games was being a part of, in terms of the press events and things of that nature, because I was bringing new eyes and new attention to their products. So because I became valuable to the bottom line of a lot of these companies, because of my interview style and my reach and the way I did my interviews and stuff like that, they looked at me as a business perk, as a way to get a hold of a certain audience that they couldn't touch. So they embraced me because they knew they could do business with me. Now, what happened is, at first, the way we did business, let's make sure he has. Yes, we won. So the way they first embraced me, was we'll give you some more game codes. We'll invite you to more events and let's do coverage. So now I'm making it cool for a lot of games that would never ever get the light of attention from people that I speak with. So case in point, in the hood growing up, 1997, Final Fantasy VII comes out.
Okay.
I'm the only person in the hood mainly playing Final Fantasy VII that's willing to openly talk about it.
Okay.
Because if you talked about something like that in the hood, you a nerd, you don't get no girls, you don't get no buns, you whack, you weak. So in the industry, this is a known thing in the industry. Why would they spend money on someone like myself to talk about Chrono Trigger? To talk about things like that. That's not who they market to. But when NBA and Madden come out, let's get them in here.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
So the perpetuation of it. Yep.
Yes. So one of the first barriers that I broke in the gaming industry, period, was opening up the entire industry and opening up the checkbook of the gaming industry.
Okay.
To speak to the hood when it comes to games like Assassin's Creed, when it comes to games like Uncharted, when it comes to games like Final Fantasy. Like that's one of the things that I broke. And then once they started seeing these results, then it's like, yo, who else you know? Like who else you rock with? How can we do something bigger? So here's the next level that changed things. I started doing major movie reviews and interviews and TV shows and stuff like that. Why? Because the movie industry and the TV industry is trying to expand their audience and find new eyes on their products so they could grow and expand. Because the bigger they get, the more marketing dollars that they get for their budget so they can make things happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was the conduit for all of that in all of entertainment because this is all before I had to deal with Hot 97. And remember, I never had a job in the gaming industry. So it's not like I had a job at IGN and I was able to leverage IGN to get this interview, to get this. Like it's just all independent. So what happened is once the results started coming in, that we're starting to grow just because we rocked with HipHopGamer and he merged the coaches together and he really do hip hop and he really does gaming. Like he's really, you can tell by the questions that he know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So when these things started to happen, it allowed me to get access to the decision makers in the companies because now I knew I had leverage to change the narrative. So now I'm not just talking to the middlemen people. I'm not just talking to the PR agency representative. I'm talking to the person that got the budget. I'm talking to the CEO. I'm talking to all these people now. So because of that, I got a chance to learn what they value, how they operate, what their bottom line is, and what they're looking to change. And that's how I got a chance to not just be in the industry, but change the industry from the inside out and still exist today at the highest level, doing things that you like only see me do. But now you start to see more people get the same access and opportunities as well because of these things that I was able to do back in the day.
I love it. I'm really trying to pinpoint like when or if has there been enough shift and how much more work is there to take this perpetuation really of a lot of money being spent on a game like NBA 2K or Madden, but for the purchasing power of it compared to bigger, larger esports events that I work in, that the bigger events are white and Asian kids on the stage with Fortnite and, a lot of diversity in a corner with a bunch of CRT monitors playing Smash or Madden. And the money at these events, from the events I go to, it's just night and day. And I can't figure out like what's our next steps? What can we do based on your experience and your expertise? What do people like me who are ally, or people like Chris Turner who are in the chat, or Dennis or Karen who are in the chat? Like,
Chris Turner's in the chat. Yo, shout out to Chris Turner, my dude. Love you, bro. What's poppin', son?
What's the next steps to make more of a difference than go beyond just this movement we have so far?
I got you. So before we start the next game, let me answer this question so I can really focus in on this. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. Like real talk, it's a couple of things that need to happen, and there's a couple of things by choice what shouldn't happen anymore. So this is gonna be a give and take situation. It may be controversial, but I don't care. I do what I do, son. So here's what I'm gonna tell you, B. When you look at Fortnite, when you look at Call of Duty, when you look at League of Legends, it's like that. When you look at the sheer investment in that versus the investment in Street Fighter and FGC and stuff like that and everything, look at the demographic of who's who playing these games at a high level in terms of the attention that they get. If you look at the NBA 2K League and you look at the fighting game community, you see a lot of black people, a lot of black and brown people in those communities, right? Then if you go on the other side, you look at Call of Duty and you look at Fortnites of the world, stuff like that. Yeah. You don't see many of us in that energy in those spaces like that. You see our culture in it,
yes,
but you don't see us in it. But you see the culture in it, the dance moves, everything.
Yes.
But you don't see us in it. Mm-hmm. So one side will invest in the culture, and the only time you'll see us in it is you have to be a celebrity to tap into it, a la LeBron James, a la Travis Scott. You see how that go? Yeah. So the thing is, if you got somebody that's just a fan that just loves the game and want to be a part of it, it doesn't appear to be a space for them there. Yet that's where all the investment is at and all the money is at. But in the fighting game community, everybody just comes through and show up, and a lot of it is us. Same thing with 2K. Yep. So what needs to change is a couple of things. Okay. I just wanted to set that ground rule first. So when it comes to the Call of Duties and the Fortnites of the world and stuff like that, what I believe needs to happen is a lot of these companies, the same investment that they put into the culture of what we do, they need to put into the representation of at the same time. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
My man Malik Forte, at one point in time, he was the host of Overwatch. That was a great look. Now what happened? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was there for a moment, for a time, and now it's gone. You know what I'm saying? That right there was a pivot. That was a pivotal moment. We're supposed to build on that because now the face and the representation is us too. We're all a part of it, which is going to influence more people to take part in it, and you'll find more talent in it. And then now the representation is also matching the investment because now we're a part of it. Why do we always get cut short? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Malik the face of Call of Duty in terms of hosting and doing all these things like how he was with Overwatch?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still Activision Blizzard. Like where's all these things going on? So why we always got a cutoff point when it comes to the representation part, but there's never a cutoff point when it comes to the culture part, when it comes to the investment side.
Yeah.
So these are just things that I'm noticing. So to me, one out of many answers for this is we have to create a scenario where we show data as a way to get the investments that we need, so we can put out our own things to represent ourselves. And the data is the proof. If you look at the data right now, you'll see that when it comes to ethnic groups, African American, Black people, we consume the most, not just in games and games purchases, but we consume the most in TV, fashion. We spend the most money on all this stuff. So how is it that you spend the most money and get the least return? Think about it as a stock option. If I got 10,000 shares in a company, and let's say as a Black person I got 10,000 shares in the company, and as a white person you got 2,000 shares in the company, whatever the return is, I'm supposed to have more because I put in more. That's just common sense. Why is it that one gets more, yet they didn't put in as much?
Do you think there's
explain that to me, B?
Well, I just wonder if there's an issue with, like, we're already making money off this culture and appropriating it, as well as using Black athletes for another industry to make money off in the college and in the professional space, are they at a standstill of, well, why do we need to add more representation if we're getting our money? I feel like, is that something that's internally something that's happening because the leadership is also a bunch of people who look like me as well? I feel.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. So what happens is the transfer of money, the transfer of the bottom line has to change in order for, like, so I use myself as an example, right?
Okay.
I can go out and spend a whole bunch of money to get certain people to do certain things, or I can create a scenario where I'm going to invest in myself and bring people to me. And so as long as I invest in myself and bring people to me, now I can control how things should be as I move forward and grow. And that's what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is, like, with a lot of these companies, there has to be more of a relationship from the beginning, not a situation where we just bring you in after we already done established what we want to do. That's what I'm saying. That's why when you see the partners that I got, it's built different. That's why I don't like to say sponsorships with the deals you see. I like to say partnerships, because everything that I've built with AMD, everything that I'm building with Logitech, everything that I'm building with AURN, what I'm building with Furia Esports, everything that I'm built, case in point, with Furia Esports, right? Shout out to my man Henry. Like, the moment he brought me in, and he's the CEO of the North American division of Furia. Furia is huge. So when he brought me in, I said, I got a group, they're a black group. They're called Minu. They're amazing, and we should bring them into the fold and continue to grow the American market. I was able to bring in like 8 new black faces to represent Furia Esports, which is an international brand in Brazil that's expanding out to the United States right now. Nice. Language barriers and all of that, and I got them in there. So the point I'm trying to say is more of that needs to happen, where a lot of these companies, we work together to build something instead of you building up your infrastructure and just saying we're just going to add these people in there to make it look good. That's all I'm saying. Yes, that's all I'm saying. Whenever you're trying to create something, whatever it is you're trying to create, involve us in the beginning, so as it grows, it's a real partnership, it's real fair, it's real representation, because we did it together. That's all I'm saying. And when you do it together, the bottom line is going to double and triple, because now the world could look and see that, wow, they came together to do something, and you could tell that they did it together because the representation shows that we're together. There's balance. Yeah. It's fair. Yeah. So the money is right. The imagery is right. Like, you can't go wrong that way. And that's all I'm saying. When we build something, let's build it together so we're all a part of the investment, instead of you just getting all of these Series A, Series B fundings from your bank friends and all these other people, building all this other stuff. And then now that you got your infrastructure, you got your equity, you got your stock options, you got all these things set in stone for you and your people, then you reach out and give us crumbs. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't like that's all I'm saying. Once that changes, and you see that in the FGC and you see that in the 2K League, then the 2K League and FGC is going to be just as important, as valuable as what you see with Call of Duty and Overwatch and League of Legends, because the same care and development that they take there would be transferred to 2K League and Street Fighter and all these other coaches that we are the face of more so. And boom, now we have equality for real, that we can grow collectively. So all I'm saying is the answer is we have to be involved in the beginning stages of building out the process. 100%. So the result can be the representation and it can be fair versus what we see now.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Chris Turner's dropping some nice stats in the chat as well.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, about lots of data. But
it was so funny, bro. Like, it's not impossible, because these is things that I was able to make it happen for myself. So I'll be trying. Oh, here's the other thing that's very important. I be trying to put people on. I don't hide the plug or whatever. I pass the plug. I'm like, yo, here, like, this the person, set it up, whatever. What I will say, is don't try to put the work in. That's all I'm saying. Like, when you get an opportunity, put the work in. People are relying too much on somebody to do things for them and then complain when things don't get done.
Yeah.
Put the work in. Because if there's no accountability, I don't want to hear no complaints. So you got to put the work in too. And that's, I'm leaving it at that.
And you're a
gotta
great
put the
example.
work in.
You're a great example of it, putting the work in. And I look at what you've done over the years, and I'm in awe. And I know your passion for all this is lived, and your passion is experiential. I want to come back to this. We got about 15 minutes, and I want to go a little light for a second.
This is what I call a detective team.
While we play, because it's gonna be hard to focus on super hot stuff. But I want to ask about all the red carpet opportunities you've had, movies, video games, and I actually found an interview you did with John Leguizamo in July 2016, and you were talking about video games. He was talking about video games, and you had said, "Hey, man, you should do voiceovers," because he does Ice Age and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so he said, "Man," you told him, "Hey, I'd love to do. I think you should do voiceovers in video games." And he said, "Oh, I'd love to." And you being you said, "Hey, who do I need to talk to? Talk to me." He said, "Talk to me. I'll get you in." But what was interesting is he may have not remembered, but he actually did a video game character's voice before that he didn't know, or he didn't remember. And yeah, so I found out that in 2003 he did a voiceover for a character named Glowbox in the game. In the game called, do you happen to know by chance? Glowbox. It was GameCube, PS2. He voiced a character named Glowbox. It was called Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc.
Wow!
So he had credits for it, which was funny, and I didn't realize it because he's done some. But it's funny because he's already got the credits for it, so now all you gotta do is just get him back into it. It sounds like. Yeah. Red carpet event, John Leguizamo's, and just that was interesting. But all these red carpet events that you've been to, there's a lot of people who will see this video content today, and people like me who want to learn from you and understand how to get where you are. I personally would continue to learn from you, but people out there, I work with a ton of students. I work with a ton of students across the country and across the globe. And outside of just playing games and being a streamer, the content you create and the interviews you do and the ability to be in front of the camera, what kind of tips or information can you give the younger generation out there to start and get better and be noticed when it comes to content creation or even interviews like you do?
Got you. Great question, bro. So here's what I would say, right? First, you gotta love it. So if your focus is the money, like you just want to do this because you get some money, it ain't gonna work. Just tell you right now, it is not gonna work, because what's gonna happen is the money that you're gonna be looking for, it may not come right away, and then you're gonna get frustrated, and you're not gonna finish anything because your focus is wrong, because your passion ain't there. So the first thing is figuring out. So the first thing is figuring out what you want to do, like figuring out what you love to do, what makes you wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rematch this because I want to finish this. So the first thing you want to do, real talk, is if you passionate about this, you wake up in the morning like all you want to do is do interviews and work on your craft and stuff like that. If it's like that for you, that's the first step, because you're gonna do it regardless of money or not, because you genuinely love it and you genuinely want to get better at it. And you can't lie to yourself or hustle yourself. You know if this is what you want to do. So the first thing is to answer that question to yourself. Do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you love it? Be honest. Once you're honest with yourself and you say, yeah, this is what I want to do, okay, you got through the first step. Now the second step is this. You got to produce something. So even if it's interviewing a family member, or even if it's just playing a game and just putting it out there, you know, no shame or nothing, just do something just to get some feedback and see what people say, see what you say about yourself after seeing yourself in that light. That's the second step. You got to be willing to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to be judged. You got to be willing to be criticized. You got to be willing to be hated on. You got to be willing to be loved. You got to have all of that, because it's all a part of the territory that comes with what you want to do. Period. So that's the second thing. The third thing is people that you inspire to be, find out where they're going to be at. Case in point, you know good and well, every year you're going to have PAX, you're going to have an E3, you're going to have a Comic-Con, you're going to have a South by Southwest, you're going to have, you know, what's the name, an Evo, all these other things. You need to make sure you're somewhere on that calendar where you're going to be at least one of those events, so you can get an opportunity to be around and meet the people that you want to meet, be around the energy of the culture that you want to be in, and understand how it works. That's the third thing. Now, once you know your why and you love it, once you are confident enough to live with the results, no matter what they are, because you put yourself out there, and then you around the actual culture, so you know what it is when you see it, now you're in position to not just be a talent, but now you're in a position to know what the business is like, because it still is a business. And if you want to thrive, you're going to need to know the business side. So those are the 4 steps right there, like simple and plain. So now, how do you execute? This is number 5. You can have a great idea. You could talk to you blue in the face. You can have every Zoom call you want in your life. If you ain't executing nothing, it don't matter. You got to know how to execute. So one of the ways that I execute everything that I do, and this might be controversial too, but you know, like I said, I do what I want to do. I don't care. So here's the deal. It's very important. What you have to understand is a lot, and this is just my approach. Yeah. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everybody. What I am saying, Bubba, is that, you know how people say don't mix business and pleasure? I mix business and pleasure. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell you why I mix business and pleasure. Because every business deal and everything that you see me do is based off of a real relationship. None of my deals you see is just some sponsorship and it's transactional and that's it. Like my partnership with AMD, like I really know these people. Like Leslie is my homie. Anthony, this is my homie. These are my peoples. Like we talk. I love them. Like if they called me and needed something, forget the video games. Like if you hurt, I'm there to help. I got you. We got a real relationship before any deal. Like if you look at my relationship with Logitech G, you know what I'm saying? Peter, you just Amanda, Giselle, like Alex, like so many people I can name. Like these is like my real like friends. This is like family to me. Like I rock with them before any business deal. You know what I'm saying? If we do something good, if we do something bad, whatever it is, we talk about it, we hug it out, and we fix it, and we rock. I love them. Like I really got real partnerships. See, when y'all, like when the outside looking in, when people see my partnerships, they may think that, dang, HipHopGamer is just stacking up bread. I mean, I am, but that's not the point. The point is that, yo, he's building his empire off of genuine love and friendships and relationships and brotherhood and sisterhood and things of that nature. That's unheard of in business, because people would do business with snakes just to get money. All money ain't good money. I make a lot of good money. I don't want to make no bad money because it costs too much. Period. So these are 5 main steps. Because if you can't have pleasure, if your business can't be pleasurable and you can't find pleasure in doing business, then you shouldn't be doing that business, because that business is not going to bring you pleasure, because that pleasure is not just for you, it's also for your family and who you want to pass it down to. So if you can't mix business with pleasure, you shouldn't be doing business with that person. Period. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So my situation is foundational, son. My joint crazy. That's why, yo, bro, if you ever go to a website, right, and you look at like PR agencies, and you ever see like a PR agency or even talent agencies, You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you go to CAA or William Morris Endeavors or whatever it is. They're a company, right? They got a board, they got employees, and then you got a list of clients that they work with. And then they got case studies of what they did for these clients, letting you know that they may be a good brand to invest in based off their resume and what they do as a company. What I did was I took that business model and I became William Morris Dever. I became Creative Artist Agency through me, one person.
Okay.
So when you see the GOAT of the game, and you see characters your currency, and you see Furia, Hot 97, AURN, Logitech G, A&D, and HipHopGamer is the centerpiece around it. Why you think I don't have a manager or agent or anything like right now or like definitively or whatever? Because a lot of the managers or agents that will come and work with me, the same thing that they would do for me, I've already done for myself before they even had that job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm different. So if y'all want to, but it took a lot of work to get here. It took a lot of work. And
I agree.
People got to recognize, I don't just say that I'm the GOAT of the game because everybody just want to be the best. I say I'm the GOAT because you can't be the GOAT unless you take the hits.
Yeah.
You can't be the GOAT unless you take the hits. And not only did I take the hits, I also changed the narrative of the game, period. There's only one hip-hop gamer. You can look at anybody or any situation in the industry and you only going to come across one me, period.
True. And it's a good you, and we're all better for it. And I mean, the people in the chat now, Dennis, Chris Turner, Karen, D Lily, thank you guys for the great comments, great questions. Yes, Karen, wow, all money ain't good money. Very true. With the spinning chain. While we start this last game, I'm gonna get you some quick hits. Quick hits, you got to answer quick as well.
All right, cool. Let's get it.
Yeah,
shout out to everybody in the chat too.
And we'll start this game and play. Okay, so how many red carpet events do you think you've been on? Any idea?
Oh my gosh, bro. What kind of question is that? Like, I don't know. Like hundreds, man. Hundreds, man. I don't know.
Okay, I
hundreds,
counted,
man.
I counted. Actually, it's been all last week, and it's 907. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
I know you did. Yo, it's hundreds, man. I've been on a lot of red carpets, bro.
How about the question you like asking the most? PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation or Xbox? Bro, why would you ask me the question? Everybody knows PlayStation.
You ask that question everywhere you go.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows PlayStation. Look, I got everything. You know what I'm saying? I love all the systems. I got everything. I play everything. But PlayStation is the best by far. And the reason why PlayStation is the best by far is not only because of the system, whatever. PlayStation has the best curated development teams in the industry, which produces the best results of games that we see in our industry. Period.
Okay. All right, so who's your favorite musician artist of all time?
My favorite artist of all time. All right, so you said musician. So if you talk, so if you say musician,
I guess.
So like, oh man, this is crazy. So if you want to talk about musician, man, it's so many out there because Prince is. Oh, we were smoking them. That's why they probably backed out. Prince plays every single instrument in the world.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson could do everything. Ray Charles is, come on, man.
So who would you choose?
He does some of these up. So if I had to choose from a musician standpoint, I probably got to go with Prince because he does everything. So he's probably the best one. But you can't go wrong with that answer. There's so many answers you could give, but I would probably go with Prince.
Okay.
It's as a musician. If we talking about like my favorite artists, overall, are you referring to like my favorite artist ever in hip hop? Is that what you're saying?
That's fine too. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay, so my favorite artist in hip hop would be Jay-Z, but to me the best rapper is Eminem.
Wow. I just listened to his stuff a lot yesterday, and I just forget how fast he is.
Yeah,
And it's not mumble either.
Yeah, Eminem is different. Come on, man. I could, son. I got so many Eminem verses I could quote. It's ridiculous, man.
So-
Like, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
let's try. What was one of your most favorite interviews you did with a person or celebrity or anybody?
Oh wow. So you know what? One of my favorite interviews that I did was with my man Morgan from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead. I love that show. So here's the deal though. Here's why it was one of my favorites. Because what he talked about how success, he internalized what success is for him, and he doesn't allow the world and society to judge what success should look like. So I'm gonna keep it real. He said that success is what's going on? Yo, this is crazy.
We're too good.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. So when it comes to success for Morgan, he was talking about how success is something that he internalizes, and he doesn't allow other people to put what their success belief should be on him. So most people think success is the money, the cars, the houses, and the flashiness. His success is simply his ability that God allows him to wake up in the morning to do what he loves. That's his success. The fact that he can do what he loves to do, and he's able to make some sort of impact on somebody's life because of his skill set and talent. That's what drives him. That's what success looks like to him. So that's one of the interviews that really was powerful to me. Another interview that was really, really powerful, and it was just a powerful moment. So Tyler Perry.
Right.
Tyler Perry told me that his fear of flying was costing him a lot of deals and costing him a lot of opportunities to grow. And he was conflicted with his mission because he had a fear of flying.
Wow.
So he taught so he went and got lessons on how to fly, eventually got his pilot's license, and he was able to continue to build his empire. But the empire that he has today would not have been built unless he got over his fear of flying, but fear in general. So when he removed his fear in place of faith, it changed everything in his life to achieve the success that he was aiming for.
Okay.
And that was emotional for me, like to hear, and it was emotional for him to say, even in that quick moment when he explained it. So Tyler Perry is definitely one of the major ones.
So
I got.
Tyler Perry. Now, okay. Then what was one of the hardest interviews you've done? Or maybe it was the craziest, or the person just didn't respond, or they were
like the awkward one.
Yeah, sure. Awkward, hardest, whatever interview you had.
Like a real awkward one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know what's so funny? I was at Comic-Con.
Okay.
And we was doing, it was me, Vivica Fox, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember. I forgot the gentleman's name, but he was in some movie, and I think this was in 2017.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember his name, but he was drunk.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So we trying to do an interview, but he's drunk, and his publicist is trying to like pull him away or buffer him and stuff like that while I'm trying to do the interview.
Was it Carl
It was
Weathers?
it wasn't Carl Weathers who was drunk. It was somebody else. But it was Carl Weathers. Yeah, it was Carl Weathers, Vivica Fox. It was the same day that I did those interviews, and he was next up after that interview, like behind the scenes, like once we cut the cameras off.
Okay.
The person I'm talking about was next up. I forgot. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't remember. It's something Madsen. I think Madsen. Something Madsen. I think his last name was Madsen or something like that.
Cyclops guy? Like how he played Cyclops in X-Men? Madsen? Is
I don't think it was him.
Not him? Okay.
I don't think it was him. You know what? I gotta see a picture. It could be. It could be. But he was drunk.
Wow.
And let's just say, like, I'm trying to talk to him, and he like stumbles over a little bit, and his hand is on my back, and he's tumbling, but his hand is like going lower. So I'm about to push this dude off, like, because Like, yeah, you drunk, but I don't know what parties you been to, bro. I don't get
Yeah.
down like that. You wildin'. So he's falling a little bit, and his arm is on me, and the publicist is like, oh my gosh, and this and that. So I just like help. I make sure he didn't fall, and then they just took him and buffed him, and they went and got him some coffee or something like that. But that was awkward because I'm trying to talk to him. He's drunk, stumbling over words, saying the same thing like over and over and over when I'm asking him different questions. It was real awkward. And but you know, I'm still gonna be professional, and I found a way to find some fun in it, where it's like, dang, this interview was so good he couldn't handle it. So you know, stuff like that, and then he went on his way.
Wow. Okay, I love it. Final question here. Final question. Maybe we'll try one more match. Maybe we can try. And
all right.
Everybody in the chat, what's up, Jacob, Brad, Heather? Heather says, "Hi kids, I'm listening now, but heading to Tyler Perry's studio." Okay.
Yo, what's going on?
Heather does.
Yo, Heather, what's poppin', Heather?
I would say.
What's up, superstar? I love you, yo. What's poppin', Heather?
Eric,
if you see Tyler Perry, tell him HipHopGamer needs a multiverses match with him.
There we go. There we go. He'd like that. Okay. So your favorite video game character is Kratos from the God of War.
Oh yeah, all time.
Series.
Yeah, Kratos is the best all time.
How do you feel a connection, or do you have any relation to that, like his story? I don't know, what drives you besides the awesome character he is there any relation? I mean, are you a father? I don't like,
nah, of course, yo, bro, wait, hold on, listen. Of course, Kratos is the most important character ever created in gaming to me. Shout out to David Jaffe. He's the most important character. You wanna know why?
Okay.
Because his skin, that ash, the ash of his family that he slaughtered.
Okay.
Because Ares made him kill his family when he sold his soul to Ares. His skin is the ashes of his family that he slaughtered. So he's constantly reminded daily of his torment and his sinful nature and his crimes. So as a black man, waking up in the morning, especially dealing with like traumas and stuff like that, you know, with a lot of people just in society, Kratos' character is the embodiment of just walking out your door with your skin. Like, I don't know what's going on, like with the matches, but just to resurface back to the answer, Kratos is the most important character ever made in gaming, like, to me, because the story of the fact that you gotta wear your skin is the ashes.
Wow.
The ashes of your wife and daughter that you killed. The family that you built and murdered is now the ashes on your skin. So you are forever in torment and pain just because of your skin and what that represents. So imagine in the world that we live in, just because you breathe, just because you walk, just because you eat, just because you have a thought, just because you are existing, that's a problem in a lot of people's eyes.
Okay.
Just because you here, ain't do nothing wrong nobody just because you exist.
Right.
That's why Kratos resonate with me so much, aside from it being a great game, because I know what that feels like to just go to school and try to go to a job interview, or even going to E3, for the first time, and it's like, dang, can't escape it. So what do? Do you get mad? Do you complain? Or do you create and figure out a way to make a bad situation a great situation? So that's why I'm so humbled and honored to have made it this far in my life, to become the person that I am today. Because the moment I gave my life to the Lord, Jesus Christ is my savior, the moment I did that, and I really did it and lived it and understood it and all of that, it changed everything for me. Because now I know what love really is, the actual definition. You know what I'm saying? If you go to 1 Corinthians, oh man, I'm missing the scripture, but I know it's 1 Corinthians something, I forgot. But you understand what love really is. And when you understand what it is, love is what you do in spite of what you feel. People could do you wrong, whatever, whatever. Love is action words. What you do in spite of what you feel. And when you have that and you walk with that and you live that, that's my armor daily. And I bring that to my business. I bring that to everything that I do. That's why when people are around me and they love that energy and it's infectious, like they say, this is why I win. I operate in love, I lead with love, and that's how I live my life. Nobody's perfect. We all, like fall short, period. At the same time, I inspire daily to lead with that love and lead with that energy, and that's why I win, and that's how I know we all can win collectively together as long as we operate in that energy, period.
Amen. It's funny because a lot of the people in the chat right now are who I know that are Christians, and hearing this is good to fire us up, as well as to do
and that's another thing, bro. I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I'm a Christian, bro. But what I mean when I say I'm Christian, I'm a follower of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, salvation is a gift. It's nothing that you work for. You can't earn it, or I did this many good things and nah. It's only one person that's good. None of us is good. To be good, that means to be morally excellent, and none of us is morally excellent. So the point I'm trying to say is when you operate like that, bro, just being on the show right now, Bubba, I thank you, man. I love you for this, man. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. And and here's another thing that's a lesson learned. I was just on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Now I'm on Invite Sent on your show. Now, on the outside looking in, and certain managers and people in the industry, they would be like, yo, you too big to do a show like this. You just got on the stock exchange. Why you on this show? You too big to do that.
I'm asking the same question.
And the moment, and the moment people start getting into that mentality, God is going to show you who's really big. God has a way of humbling you just like that. So what I'm trying to tell you, Bubba, I don't care if I'm on the stock exchange. I don't care if I'm in the White House. I don't care where I'm at. It's always an honor to be right here with you on Invite Sent and wherever I go. 1 million followers, 1 follower, 500 followers, I could care less. All I care about is who you are, and it's an honor to be here, and I thank you. Period. Wow. Got to spin a chain on that, son.
Appreciate it. Well, you have more than the last word. You are all. Please tell us where people can find you on socials, learn more about you, follow what you're doing, everything. You have the floor. Scene is all yours.
Got it. So what I would tell y'all, Google me. HipHopGamer, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just to give y'all an update on my life, though, and everything that I'm doing, I'm officially the first gaming journalist ever to be nationally syndicated across 3,500 stations, radio stations globally. So if you listening to like Steve Harvey in the morning, or my man Ebro in the morning, or Hot 97, or even The Breakfast Club, or my man Young Jock out in Atlanta, with the Streets Morning Show, all this other stuff. The 660 is here, and that segment runs, all day, Monday through Friday in different, slots and times, but nationally syndicated, bringing gaming news and conversations to the radio. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the newest updates in my life. Crazy deal. And there's another deal that has happened that will be announced during PAX West while we out there. And one thing I want to tell y'all is I told y'all. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all is that I told y'all. Pay attention. A lot of things that y'all are overlooking, but I'm gonna bring it to light. But when y'all see it, just know that you're looking at the cheat code. Just know that. HipHopGamer, you looking at the cheat code. You want to break in and do things the right way? You're looking at the cheat code right here, and I got you. Let's go, baby.
Thank you so much, man. HipHopGamer, it's been an extreme honor. Thank you very, very much. I love everything you do. It has been an honor having you on the show. Thanks for getting a couple wins and helping me learn Multiversus, this new game, and hopefully it'll be a game I play more often. Everything you said today, please, if you're out there, if you want to rewatch some of the stuff that he said today, it's all on multiple platforms. You can watch it. And man, I appreciate you. I've learned so much. Say a special hello to Leslie when you're in PAX West. She might be on the show here in a few weeks or a few months as well, and she's a great lady as well.
Yeah, love Leslie, man. She's the truth.
Thank you so much, Hip Hop Gamer. You're amazing. Feel free. You don't have to stick around the backstage if you don't want, but I'm gonna take you off the screen and I'm gonna close the show.
I bet, bro. We out of here. One love and God bless. Listen, thank you so much again. On that note, we out of here, baby. Peace. The GOAT of the game, and we out.
Thank you guys so much for being here today. We had Hip Hop Gamer on the show. We played Multiverses. It has been amazing, amazing time. I know I've got some other shows coming up with Josh Kell and some other folks coming up down the pipe. Please stick around, follow socials, subscribe, like all that stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Stay amazing. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.
Varsity Esports Foundation. Founded in December 2018, the Varsity Esports Foundation was created by a group of esports professionals. Our mission is to create an inclusive, safe, and aspirational network of gaming communities for all. The Varsity Esports Foundation is a 501c3 organization established to offer financial assistance to schools and to provide a pipeline for students to reach their potential through esports. We have 4 foundation goals. 1. Build a network of inclusive gaming communities. 2. Create scholarships for students within these communities. 3. Ensure a safe environment for all players. And 4. Promote gaming literacy across the ecosystem. The foundation has funds for a limited amount of assistance to support schools with league fees and/or computer equipment. For more information, please visit us at varsityesportsfoundation.org. Varsity Esports Foundation, a pipeline for students to reach their potential through esports.
Hello, my name is Christy Kester. As a public educator for the past 24 years, I have watched as interest in esports has exploded in schools across the world. Last fall, I joined the High School Esports League and helped to establish the education department. Since then, we have been working hard to integrate esports into education to create a scholastic gaming experience where students can learn, play, and compete. With our evidence-based, STEM.org-approved gaming concepts curriculum, schools can offer 4-credit classes during the school day that help improve chronic absenteeism, student engagement, and mental health.
As a senior health advisor for High School Esports League and a former ER physician, I see the incredible need for supporting mental health in students in today's schools. In fact, schools that are formidable crossroads where a pervasive and persistent decline in youth mental health now intersects with staff burnout. This has not been a sudden problem, but rather one we've seen over decades. The American Academy of Pediatrics announced in 2019 that 1 out of 3 students meets the criteria for generalized anxiety disorder before graduation. And the CDC reaffirmed that between 2009 and 2019, depression increased in adolescents by roughly 40%. The most telltale sign that grabbed all of our hearts was when the Surgeon General announced in December of 2021 that female adolescents increased their visits to the emergency departments around the nation by 51% for suicidal ideations. In the face of this, schools are desperately seeking solutions and ways to support those that struggle with mental health challenges. Now, these statistics that I mentioned are averages. We know there are some cohorts that are at higher risk, particularly those students who do not feel they have a safe place or a legitimate connection to school. That's where esports represents a tremendous opportunity. Students who are not currently involved with sports, music, arts, and traditional extracurriculars are left with minimal opportunities to make a connection. Yet many of these students find connections to their friends and other social outlets through online activity, including gaming. So, Scholastic Gaming represents an opportunity to leverage an area of interest into a legitimate class that meets state standards and expectations, all through an evidence-based curriculum that can simultaneously support self-esteem, self-efficacy, and life skills in many kids who desperately need it.
Hi, my name is Michael Russell. During my career as a teacher, I was fortunate enough to have the support of my administrator as I began the journey to establish the first 4-credit Scholastic Gaming course in the nation. At HSEL, we have the resources and data to help you speak with your administrators about the impact that Scholastic Gaming and esports can have for your students. We have strategies that can help you with acquiring technology and curriculum, such as ESSER funds, grant applications, and partnerships. The High School Esports League has invested significant resources in helping our education partners, and we are excited about this opportunity to help you establish Scholastic Gaming in your school.
Every day we ask so many questions. What should I wear? What's the weather going to be like? How am I going to fit everything in? But then there are those bigger questions, like why am I here? Where am I heading? Is there more to life than this?
I had arrived at an answer to the most important issue that we humans ever deal with. Is there a God? And I had arrived there without ever really looking at the evidence. And I was supposed to be a scientist.
At 28, I had gotten many of the things that I thought I wanted. My girlfriend was on the cover of magazines, I had a Beamer, and I was so unhappy. It was a realization maybe that I would never find happiness where I was looking for it.
I think for so many years, I always just strived to be strong in myself. All I needed was me and my buddies and, we'd be like invincible. But the truth is, none of us are.
And I found purpose, I found meaning, I found hope. God took something so broken and made it a beautiful art piece.
Alpha is a place where you can be yourself. You can say what you think and challenge everything. No question is too complex or too simple. And what your point of view is as important as anyone else's.
We are going on a journey together, an adventure to explore the questions of life, faith, and meaning.